are lesson 265 and lesson 266 of our daily Sefer mitzvahs study. Say hi to my friend here. So we're going to cover again the mitzvah that we talked about a couple days ago, which was from Leviticus 25:14, which says, "And if you sell something to your neighbor," I'm just going to give a little bit more detail. There's a lot more that could be said, and some of the other any other related mitzvah might give us some more opportunity to talk about it. But so one thing that I wanted to mention are three ways that someone can acquire something according to the Torah. It's first of all the obvious one is kesef, or giving money, paying for a product, and biblically, that's all you need is just to pay, and it's yours. But in order to keep disputes from happening in the future, the rabbis added to the fact, or added to saying that, yeah, you need to pay for it, but then you also need to acquire the item. So acquiring the item might be, taking it from one, from the other person with you, or lifting it up, acquiring it in some way to show that now you actually have possession of this item, rather than it just being something that's paid for, which then the seller or the seller could dispute somehow, and then you would end up in a situation where they've got your money, but you never got the product, which is not allowed. So the next way to acquire an item would be through, I believe it's called Sefer. It's a contract. So you sign a contract, and you are able to acquire an item that way legally, because then that contract could be presented, for instance, in court if there's any sort of a dispute. And then the third is to do something that an owner would do to an item. Like, for instance, let's say it's property. If you were buying property, and so you do something to that land that makes it clear that this is your property. Like, you put a fence around it or something like that. And there are other ways to do that. And so that's how you can acquire land. But of course, then there's animals. You're not going to pick up an animal generally, but if you lead them, or you lead them from one place to another or something like that, then you acquired them legally that way as well. And why is this all important? Because these kinds of things go to court, and somebody says, well, I never acquired the item, or I paid for it and I never got it, or something, and then the seller could say, you paid for it, and you let it off, off of my property, out of my stable, or you built a fence on the property that you paid for, or whatever, and so then the seller has what to stand on to say that the sale was made and the sale was final. All right, so that's why we get picky about things, not because of being legalistic or something, but this is law. This is something that back in the day, this is how the court systems work. All right, and in some cases, a Torah court still does. So negative commandment 250 would be next. And this is going to be covered for 2 lessons, so I'll try to give a little bit extra information about it. First of all, but first of all, this mitzvah is about honesty in commerce. That buying and selling, you have to be honest regarding that. And this comes from Leviticus 25:14, which says, "When you make a sale to your fellow, or make a purchase from the hand of your fellow, you shall not defraud one another." So it's forbidden for a seller or a buyer to cheat one another in the course of commerce by overcharging or underpaying for merchandise. All right, we'll let that be for lesson 265. And then now for today, for 266, let me give you a little bit more detail on that. This is understood. This you should not defraud one another can also be understood or translated as you should not cheat one another. And so a commentary, Mishnah, Mishnaic era collection called Sefer comes and says, this verse, do not cheat one another. Um, sorry. We'll try to do better with the microphone. The verse that says don't cheat one another refers to cheating someone monetarily, but also it would include not not like pressuring someone or like telling someone if you don't buy this this is going to happen or whatever, and so the person shouldn't be coerced in any way if they are making a purchase. It should be on the up and up on both sides. All right, thank you so much for joining me for those lessons. Playing a little catch up here because just haven't had the opportunity to do these recently. But the next lesson is going to go further regarding hurtful words to one another, and these are very important topics. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day in every way, and we're coming up on Shabbat. If you keep the Sabbath on Friday night to Saturday night, then Shabbat Shalom.